An anti-gang operation in Haiti's capital has ended in a massacre of innocent civilians. RT's Dan Cohen with the full report tonight.
For 6 hours, UN forces and 200 Haitian police officers held the Port-au-Prince neighborhood of Grand Ravine under siege. By the end, at least 12 were dead, including victims of summary executions, according to a new report at The Intercept by Jake Johnston, a research associate at the Center for Economic and Policy Research. I spoke to Johnston, who visited the scene just days after the massacre.
It's sort of a scene of, war. I mean, there are bullets everywhere, empty tear gas canisters, blood-stained concrete. And, I think one of the most sort of lasting things for myself was the faculty there, who was just like clearly mourning and just sort of trying to grasp with what happened and try and explain to themselves and to others what had happened, right? And this was just something that was so out of the ordinary and so out of the blue for them.
Police arrived to the Maranatha College early in the morning on November 13th, 2017. They ransacked the school and fired tear gas as they searched for gang members, but they found none until the school's guard told the director, Armand Lewis, where the gang members were hiding. Lewis then told police. Police engaged in a shootout, and the gang members shot 2 police officers before they escaped. That's when police officers went on a rampage against innocent bystanders. They first killed the guard and then savagely beat the school director who had just tipped them off. A professor who tried to intervene was beaten and shot 5 times, including a bullet to the head. The UN said they did not directly participate in the massacre, but the school director said a UN officer handcuffed him and took him to jail after he was beaten by police. The real death toll will likely never be known. The UN released a statement after the massacre, calling for a prompt investigation. UN troops have been in Haiti since 2004, ostensibly to restore stability following a coup d'etat the United States played a major role in. Months after the massacre, the UN acknowledged its own role to Jake Johnston. The reported civilian deaths were not part of the planned operation, but of a unilateral action conducted by some officers after the conclusion of the operation, a UN spokesperson wrote, according to The Intercept. She added that the planned portion of the operation went relatively well. The UN inquiry absolved the UN, finding that UN police did not partake in the killings, but, quote, secured the perimeter of the school. Grand Ravine is among the poorest and most violent areas of Port-au-Prince. Labeled a red zone by international forces, the state has little authority there. It's a battleground for rival gangs with shady ties to corrupt politicians. The international community has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to train Haitian police forces, but stability, let alone justice, seems to be as distant as ever.
I think when you sort of look at the legacy of that now, it's stability for whom, right? And I think, the legacy is clear that the stability is not for the residents of neighborhoods like the Grand Ravine, but rather for foreign investors and the elite who are relatively unimpacted by these sorts of events.
In Washington, Dan Cohen, RT.